So we're starting another motor build. This is a 128 cubic inch. We're starting off with a 114 M8. This thing has a Screaming Eagle cam, exhaust, air cleaner, and tuner. Only made 85 horses on the dyno. So we're going to use some Star Racing cams. This is his 3/4 inch cam. S&S big bore 128 kit. S&S roller rockers. Star Racing valve springs and valves. We're going to go ahead and use some S&S lifters, rocker arm studs, S&S cuffs. This is Moonshine High Performance intake throttle body manifold. Some fueling injectors, Barnett clutches. This is going to be a real cool build, guys, so make sure you guys continue watching to the end and we'll see what kind of horsepower we get on this thing. Hope you guys like this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Getting ready to install the cylinders and pistons. So real quick, wanted to show you the difference. This is a stock piston. You can see the difference. Quite a bit of difference. So this is the S&S piston, and this is, we are now checking the ring in gap, but trying to get it in focus. We checked the in gap, and the in gap is at 13. It's supposed to have between 24 and 28, and it's not. So it's very important that everybody checks their cylinders and their piston ring in gap. Use your piston this way so it'll be nice and flat. So we're now having to file the rings to make sure everything is correct, and then we'll go ahead and install everything on the motorcycle. Alright, so we have our pistons on, our cylinders on, and we just finished checking our deck height with our decking tool, and the piston is 25 thousandths in the hole. So that's going to help us figure out how much we need to deck on the heads to get the correct compression that we want. We're getting ready to start installing the lifters, oil pump, cam plate, the Star Racing 3030 cam. So let me get started with that. Alright, so we have the oil pump already all installed and lubed. We have our Star Racing cam installed and lubed. Getting ready to install the cam plate, and then we'll check cam in play. Okay, oil pump, cam plate all done. Cam clearance done. We just put some Play-Doh on the valve pocket so we can check the clearance. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna install the S&S lifters, but for now we're going to use some Screaming Eagle lifters that are solid. We're gonna go ahead and install these temporary, and then we're gonna adjust our push rods to height, turn the motor over, and check to make sure that our valves are not gonna hit the piston. The reason why we're doing that is these aren't gonna collapse under pressure, and these will collapse under pressure unless the motor's running. It has constant oil pressure to keep the lifter plunger lifted up. So we're gonna go ahead and install our S&S cuffs with Screaming Eagle lifters for now, and check everything. This is how much a Star Racing 3030 cam opens with some S&S roller rockers, 1.64 ratio. Opens up quite a bit. Lots of fuel, lots of air in. Alright, so we just removed the head just to check the clearance. You can see that that exhaust hit very, very little. That intake hit very little. This one hit also, but not enough to make a difference or to create an issue. I'm going to go ahead and remove the clay and start the reassembly of the heads. Finish up the cam section. Put our S&S lifters back on, remove the Screaming Eagle ones. and put the S&S ones on. Alright, so we have the heads done. These heads, we have a complete different video of the making of these heads, so if you guys get a chance, go and watch that video. You guys will enjoy it for sure. So we're getting ready to do the final install on the heads, so we can start adjusting the lifters and install the roller rockers. So let me get started with that, and then I'll come back and show you guys a little bit further as we get along. Okay, so we just installed the S&S roller rockers with the S&S rocker studs. So we like to use these rocker studs because the factory bolt, as you remove and replace the stud or the bolt, wears out the threads on the head. Eventually the threads will get pulled out, and the rocker studs come with a steel nut, 12-point nut, so it's keeps everything nice and tight and keeps it from wearing. Also, don't forget that the S&S roller rockers have a higher ratio. It's a 1.64 compared to your stock rocker arms are 1.61. So make sure that your valve springs can take that extra lift. So we're going to go ahead and continue installing these, and then get ready to start adjusting the push rods. Alright, so we have the manifold and throttle body installed. This manifold is from Moonshine Harley Davidson. It's been CNC machined. And we're getting ready to install the fueling 6.1 injectors, and we're going to also go ahead and drill and tap our air cleaner back plate so we can run outside crankcase breathers, so none of this junk goes back into our motor. So we're going to install these, get ready, and do the rest of it. Alright, so we have all this assembled. Just wanted to show you guys how we drilled and tapped for the outside crankcase breathers. We drilled and tapped and put that bolt there. We normally use 2-part epoxy to hold everything in place. Getting ready to start installing the Bassani 2-into-1 exhaust. And then put the heat shields. Try to finish this thing up. Okay, we just installed the clutch hub. This is a Scorpion clutch hub, and they come with the gold springs, the green springs, and the red springs. So what we did for now, we're gonna install the green springs and see if it holds up. If not, we're gonna put one green, one red, and try that on the dyno. And if it still slips, which I don't think it will, then we'll put all red ones. The green springs are 82 pounds each, which is a total of 492 pounds, and the red ones are 100 pounds each, which would be a total of 600 pounds. So that's a lot of weight that you're pulling on your clutch hub, on your clutch arm. So we're going to try these first. So hopefully we can keep the clutch lever pressure down. So we already got the bike started, kind of did a couple of heat cycles. We're going to go ahead and get it on the dyno. Alright guys, so what we ended up doing, we did a couple of heat cycles, and then after that we got the bike on the dyno, and we did basically a soft tune, and then we rode the bike around a little bit, make sure we got the rings broken in, then we got the bike back on the dyno, checked everything out. And so I just wanted to show you guys the befores and the afters. So basically right here, this bike started off as a 114. He already had a Screaming Eagle cam, Screaming Eagle exhaust, Screaming Eagle tuner, Screaming Eagle air cleaner. So it made 113 torque, 90 horses. The AFRs, we couldn't read it because it was plugged up. So then after we did all the work and we performed the work and everything, we ended up tuning it, and we ended up with a total gain of 145 torque, 134 horses. Our horsepower could have continued more, but we have our rev limiter set at 6. So it basically stopped there, but I think we could have continued with it. We just basically, since the motor's still brand new, we didn't want to over push it with the RPMs. So basically, we got our AFR is pretty nice, straight, level, and our torque goes up pretty nice, then it starts dropping, but our horsepower just goes straight up. So 134.35 horsepower, 145.09 on torque. We're pretty happy with that for now. We're gonna go ahead and break in the motor a little bit more, maybe even get it back on the dyno after he has maybe a couple of thousand miles on it, and then see what other results we can get out of it. For right now, we're gonna get it down, get it on the road, and break it in a little bit more. So when we ended up dynoing the motorcycle, we noticed that we weren't getting enough air. So this Screaming Eagle air cleaner is not letting enough air go into the motor. So we ended up trying to get a S&S, and this filter is basically gonna let air go in from all the way around and from the center. So that cover will go there. The deal is now, we already had done the outside crankcase breathers. We drilled and tapped, and we plugged the inside ones. So now here on the S&S one, we're gonna have to drill and tap right here and plug up that little hole. So let me get started and do that, and then we're gonna go ahead and assemble all this. Alright guys, so what we have here is the 128 Milwaukee 8 that we built. So we originally had installed a Bassani 2-in-1 exhaust. So we are now installed a Moonshine stainless steel 2-in-1 with the fueling AR. So this is in real nice high quality. The welds are amazing. So the exhaust comes out as a 1.75, and then it's like a 1.8, and then it comes out to a 2-inch. And if you can see, the collector is really far back. Okay, so what we noticed is on the Bassani, it comes out at a 1.75, then it's 2-inch, then it's 2 1/8, and then the collector is like a 2.38. It's also a straight muffler with a baffle. This one is a perforated baffle. Nope, apologize. That is a louvered baffle. This one is a perforated baffle. So we did notice a little bit of a change on horsepower and torque. So originally we had come out with 145 torque, 134 horse. This was with the Bassani 2-in-1 exhaust. So then we installed the Moonshine, and even though our AFRs could get a little bit of cleaning up there, we ended up with 132 max torque, 122 horses. The lines aren't very good. I think we can probably clean it up a little bit more, but as you can see there is a little bit of difference in loss of power and torque. And I really think, even though the quality is really good on the Moonshine, I think it has a little bit to do with the way the collector is and the size of the exhaust. But we're going to try to go ahead and get this thing dyno to take our time a little bit and get a little bit better numbers, and then we'll give you guys an update. Just wanted to show you guys the Moonshine exhaust, stainless steel. It comes highly polished, aluminum end cap, really nice quality work. So we'll keep everybody updated. Thanks for watching, guys.